You're welcome to my channel. My name is Ndifon Ntui. On this channel, I make some tutorials. I post new videos on Monday, Wednesdays, and on Saturdays. So if you're into stuff like this, make sure to check back on those days in order to watch new content. Alright, if you are a beginner or if you're a person that's trying to brush up on your skills, I offer online courses. I'll be showing a demo on how to make a jumpsuit so you can watch on the side if it will be convenient for you to learn online. If you're interested, send me a message on Telegram. Alright, number is on the screen right now. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like the video, please give it a like. Do not forget to subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Have a lovely day. Bye bye. You're welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to handle the dress that you've seen on the thumbnail. So what I have in front of me is a skirt block. Even though this is a dress, a lot of it is still mostly a skirt, and then there's a fabric attached to the waist that you tie around. That's what makes it a dress. So that's how we're going to go about it. To begin, you need to know how to draft a skirt block. I've made a video on how to draft different types of pencil skirts, so the link will be in the description below. Make sure to check it out in case you've not seen it. Alright, for this pattern here, in that video I drafted 4 types of skirts. I did mini, short, midi, and mid and long. This is a short skirt over here. So the instructions that I gave you for short is what you should use to draft this. This is the front, this is the back. I'm going to go ahead and use these patterns to cut both the front and the back of my fabric and my lining. As for my lining, I'm going to cut it 3 inches shorter so that it pulls up the fabric. That part I notched is my zipper allowance because I curved the back so that it sits smooth across the bum. I don't want to mix it up, so that's why I made a notch around the zipper allowance so I know that this is the zipper side. Alright, so after you've done this, let's go ahead to the next step. Fold our fabric and cut out our patterns. So that's what I'm doing now. You're going to fold out your fabric, place the front. This is the front I'm cutting first. Alright, notching the waist at that point. I'm going to do the same thing for the back. Cut it out and notch where you have the zipper point. The lining, I'm going to simply do the same thing. You see the way I'm cutting it 3 inches shorter. You can see me using my tape there to make sure it is 3 inches shorter. Alright, do the same thing to the back of the skirt as well. That's my zipper point. Alright, so you've seen what I've done here. You can see it shorter. You can see it shorter here as well. Alright, I'm going to iron my stay onto the fabric. So when I say stay, I mean interfacing. That's woven fusible interfacing. Alright, I'm going to iron into the wrong side of all sides of my fabric. So not the lining, just the fabric. So that's what I'm going to do. It has a part that is a bit rough. That's where you place your fabric on, the wrong side of your fabric. So simply iron on and cut it out like I'm doing. Do the same thing to the back as well. Alright, but not to the lining. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to hold my darts on my fabric and on my lining. I'm going to hold 5 inches down on both the fabric and the lining. So that's what you can see me doing here. I'm going to hold here, hold the other side. Alright, and do the same thing with this side. Alright, and then at the back, I'm going to do the same thing to both sides of the back. I'll do one on camera and I'll do the other one off camera. So you can see me doing that now. I'm going to dart here, dart the lining, place it on top. I'm placing it on top so that I know how to stitch so that it doesn't end up facing the wrong direction. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to join the back to the front with my allowance. So whatever allowance you kept, you consume it now. For me, I kept 1.5 inches. I'm going to stitch it now. Make sure to also stitch the same thing on the lining. So that's what I'm about to do now. So 1.5 inch everywhere. I'll do the same thing on the other side and then on the lining. Alright. So You can see me using my tape to at least give me an idea of what 1.5 should look like everywhere. You see that? So that's 1.5. I'm going to run all the way down. Do the same thing on my lining, like I said. All right. Lock the other side as well. All right. So now, when you're done joining both sides, next thing I want you to do is you're going to fold the center of the front of the skirt. You see this? And you're going to make a notch here so that you know where the center is. And then the next thing I want you to do is I want you to measure from that point, okay? So this is not very clear. Can you guys see? Let me turn it the other way. Okay, so from that notch, stop at the joining, measure. Look at that's 8 inches. For you, it might not be 8. So measure out 2 inches away from the joining. So because the strap is supposed to enter into the back so that it covers the bust properly. So after the joining, I'm going to come 2 inches into the back. So that's 10 inches. So from the notch to this point, here to here to here is 10. So, but for you, it might be different. So I'm going to cut 12 inches by 70. Okay, that's so that the strap is long. 12 inches by 70 two times. These are the two pieces I have for the strap. Okay, all right. So here I have the two of them. 12 inches by 70. If you can make it longer, because the longer it is, the more designs you can make with it. I'll go ahead to hem both sides of the fabric that I cut now. But I'll only do one side. I'm hemming the rough edge so that it is smooth. That's why I kept 12 inches instead of 10, so that the edges would be, I will have allowance to hem the edges. That's why I ended up cutting 12 instead of 10. All right, after you've done that, you're going to simply place front facing front, like so. I'm coming 2 inches after where the front meets the back at the waist. That's where we have a joining. So see what I'm going to do now. I'm going to join from that after 2 inches. You see that from 2 inches. When I get there, place the other one on top, and I will stitch into 2 inches across the other side of the waist. When you're done with that, you are going to place the lining on the fabric, front facing front. We'll stitch from here all the way down. Please be careful that you don't make a mistake and stitch the bottom to the top like I almost did before I rearranged it. Make sure that wherever you have a side seam, that's where the front meets the back, make sure to lay it flat all the way down. And then after that, we're going to come down to the end, to the hem, and you're going to force them to be together. Even though you cut the lining shorter, by doing this, you turn the fabric to face the inside. All right. Okay. From here all the way down, the back stitch. When you're done with that, push all the excess inside, and we're going to close up the zipper allowance starting from the waist all the way down. You see this? We're coming from the waist and running all the way down. All right. So that's what I'm doing now. Oh, my thread finished. I'm going to keep going all the way down. On the other side, it's not the same thing. I'm going to stitch and stop at 4 inches and lock it here. Give a space of 5 inches and continue all the way down. The hole that will be left is for us to use to turn or the rough work inside out. So you see, look at the space I kept there, and I continue. Then I turn everything inside out from that point. You see that? Turn everything inside out. And then I'm going to stitch to close up the hole. You can also use hemming tape to finish off this side if you want a seamless finish. So to continue, but we have to seal the zipper allowance. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep a space of 8 inches away from the waist. All right, and I'm going to come in by 1.5. Whatever allowance you have left, you simply hold that as for the 1.5. So for you it might be half inch, for you it might be 1, might be 2. So we're going to simply do that. The space left above is where we'll install our zipper. So now I've made a video on how to install a zipper in less than 4 minutes. The link will be in the description below. After I install the zipper, I'm done. If you've watched this far, thank you for watching the video. I will see you in the next video. Do have a lovely day. Bye-bye.